Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these coins then. So we'll do a quick roundup of the top cap coins, what we like to do at the moment, because this is where the money's going to be. At least in the short term, this is where we're going to be doing the bulk of our trading. I say our, I mean mine. So let's have a recap then, shall we? So Bitcoin to start with. We've obviously been making some big, nice, bold moves. Got a golden cross now on the daily, which is extremely positive. The only problem we've got, and it's the problem that I've been mentioning, is that we're bouncing around at the top of the RSI, which doesn't mean too much. Bitcoin does like to break above the RSI. You can see that that's happened several times back here. When we launched at the beginning of this, technically this bull market that we had over in April, we broke above it here, stayed just below the neutral zone for a little bit, peaking our way above. Big moves up here, consolidation down, big move up again. But then the drawback to such big moves is that we consolidate for quite a long period of time afterwards. And you can see here when we come back down to test these sort of bottom levels here, they're good areas to buy at, but it doesn't mean a great deal. We're still consolidating. We consolidated still, even back here we consolidated. So what does this mean for us right now? It means that we could quite easily make another big giant move back up. The MACD's got a cross, which is still positive. It's still quite overextended, however, and it looks like it's curling over. No, it's not curling over, but it might do over the next couple of days. What we want to see is us basically sailing within these levels here, this blue box here. We want to kind of consolidate, accumulate within this range, maybe for as much as a week before we make our big step up, which is basically going to be up and above 10,000. Hopefully. Now there is an argument to suggest that, despite all of those things that I've mentioned, even this golden cross that that's happened, that there is a chance that we could even break down from here. The reason being is that we've not closed above the magic number. Well, technically we have, but we haven't actually. If we go to the weekly, I'll make it a little clearer. We haven't yet closed above this area on a weekly, which is what we want to do. We need to close above there on a weekly to confirm the reversal of an overall trend. We've not done that yet. The weekly close is technically for sort of CMEs and everyone like that. That will close today, which is kind of what we want to see, but also it doesn't actually close properly until Sunday, so we've still got the weekend to get through. But realistically, between the end of today, Friday and Sunday, we want to see a close above 9,550, which is where our wick brought us up to, more or less, and then broke back down from there. So give or take, that's what we want to see. And we go back to the daily. Bitcoin, in my book, what I'd like to see is trending between 9,150 to 9,500. I want to see that for about a week. I'd love to see that for a week, or even a week and a half, about 10 days. That would give this RSI enough time to come right back down here to give us the opportunity to get right back up there. So you can take some nice big tasty longs up. If this accumulates and this comes down, that would be my expectation. We could, of course, break down completely from here because we've not made our higher high on the weekly, so we've not reversed the trend completely. It's not in the bag. It's not a guarantee. I mean, obviously, nothing is a guarantee in trading, and this is definitely not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. This is my opinion on the market. This is what I'll be doing, what I'm planning to do, given the situation. But right now, it's a bit of a no trade zone. We've got to see and wait what's going on. Binance coin, not actually made the move we were waiting for. It's looking okay though. We have closed and it appears to be supported above the 200 EMA for the first time. If we could hold above this level, which is 18.3, so $18.30, if we can hold above there, then I would expect a big move up towards $20. Simple as that, really. But again, we've still got a bit of room to move on the RSI. The MACD is kind of neither here nor there, so this could be a matter of accumulation around this level, or maybe even break down beneath the 100. It's not as strong as I thought it was. It's not as strong as I believed it to be. But it doesn't mean that it's a crap investment. It just means that it'll be slower than the rest. But I do believe once this has been confirmed as support, we will be looking at some serious moves at that point, up to and above $20, no problem. But we've got to see. This is only day one. I mean, this could break down. But day one is looking quite good. Ethereum, very strong, looking pretty good. My biggest holding, definitely, bar none. We came straight to the top of the Bollinger Band. In fact, overshot the area that I was personally looking to sell at. But I closed my longs, but I hold a lot of it, so I'll keep it. I'm holding it for the long term because I don't have a great deal of time to trade. So I had to choose one coin to hodl, and this is the one I chose. Because it's got relative strength to it, it trends alongside with the market. It's basically one of the strongest and best performing altcoins you can get if you don't want big pumps and dumps. Anyway, we're above all major moving averages, floating down from the top of the Bollinger Band, which is fine. We need to break above this 242 to really go super turbo bullish at that point. We've not got a golden cross like Bitcoin, but we'll get one day, but not right yet. We've not. Let's have a look at some lower time frames, like a 12 hourly, see how that looks. 12 hourly has now got the golden cross, which is great. It looks like some of this pump might have played out as a result of that. So to be honest with you, it's a matter of accumulation and consolidation at this point, and maybe even coming down into below $180. There's no reason why it wouldn't do that, as long as it stays above this level here, which is quite a long way away. 168 will be fine, because that's where I'd expect to see a decent bounce from there if we did break down from there, and that more or less from I guess by tomorrow would coincide with the centre of the Bollinger Band. So yeah, we've got some. We could fall down quite significantly, but we've got a lot of things holding us up at this level. So I would expect to see some decent moves with Ethereum over the next coming weeks, provided the market stays up and Bitcoin doesn't break down and it's not one giant bull trap, which it could be. It's unlikely, but it could be. Litecoin looking very, very, very strong. So this is kind of a precursor as to what I would expect to see for the majority of the market. So if we have a look at this, this is how Binance Coin was looking, and then this is kind of where Binance Coin kind of is, around this level here. So you can see that holding above here and staying above the 200 EMA is very important. We tested it a couple of days ago, and then we launched from it. I'm not saying that this is going to happen to Binance Coin. I'm just saying that Litecoin kind of leads the market, shows us what the charts all kind of look the same are going to do next. They pretty much all look the same, but you can see Binance Coin has got a couple of days, and don't take that as dogmatic truth. I don't mean that in a couple of days it's going to do a Litecoin move. I'm just saying the chart looks the same. They're all having to hit certain criteria for them to make these moves, and one of the criteria is to stay above the 200 EMA, find support on it, and then move from there. The next from there is going to be the 242 for these large cap coins. That would be getting rejected from there was kind of inevitable, but breaking above there, that would make giant big moves, huge moves, getting support on there, and then getting a positive slope on there basically confirms everything that we want to have confirmed, which is we are in bull market, and we should be for several months at least. So that's where we are with Litecoin. Everything's overextended though, so I would like to see a pullback on this one, just as we'd like to see with Bitcoin. So all of these coins pretty much are in the same boat. Yeah, they can make big moves, definitely, but if they make big moves now, they will probably come back down again because the RSI is too overextended. But that's obviously at the start of a crypto bull market. This is a continuation of a bull market. We've had a giant pause in between. We can get really overextended RSI with very little negative repercussion. It's just realistically, when you're trying to balance out your risk reward, that's definitely one of the things you've got to bear in mind. Massively overextended RSI on a daily chart is a little bit of a warning sign that things could come back down. If you were looking at buying up here, you're right, buying outside of the Bollinger Band, you're buying an overextended RSI, even though we've got positive cross on the MACD and all the moving averages are facing up and looking good, doesn't actually mean that we're going up nor down. It just means that the risk-reward ratio is evening out to a bit of a dangerous level. You could be making loads of money, but you could also be losing some. So it's a bit of one of those things that it's probably best to leave a few days. Here we go with XRP. So XRP looks one of the more attractive, surprisingly, looks one of the more attractive because the RSI is still down here, making higher highs, higher lows, but actually still got plenty of room to go. The MACD's got a bit of it does have a positive cross on it, but it doesn't look doesn't look very positive, but we're above most moving averages, and we've not even come up to test the 200 EMA yet, which tells me that it's definitely weaker than the others, but it also says to me that there is room for it to move up. Now, when we're looking at where we could move up to, let's just judge it realistically. It doesn't make giant moves, so we could say that 25 cent would be the first level of resistance, because that's the top of this Bollinger Band. If that were to be broken, we could talk about 25.7 cent, where these two moving averages, the simple and the exponential 200, are converging together, so I would expect a resistance level at that point there. Breaking above there would be kind of unlikely at this point now, because the market looks like it hasn't got a great deal further to go, but XRP could make that move. So there, from where we are right now, price action wise up to there's a 7.5%. 25 cent though for XRP is a relatively decent number to be bouncing from, because we were supported all the way at this level here before we broke down. We found also that this is a launch pad from this move here. It didn't save us though on the way back down. So 25 cent should mean a bit of something for XRP. Also coming down from our parabolic move here, we bounced from there at this level here and here. So 25 cent is a decent level for XRP to break above, but it was also likely to be a rejection point for the moment anyway. Staying above 25 cent though, that would be very, very good for XRP. Be looking to make some decent moves, probably up to about 29-30 cent after that. And finally, let's just have a quick peep at Link. So Link has surpassed our kind of target, which was roughly around $2.84, roughly speaking. Next level would definitely be the top of these wicks and where these candlesticks are. So that is going to be. Let's just get this on because this whole area, I would say, is going to be our next level. We're technically in the resistance level, so we need to get from the bottom of here where we launched on this last little wick yesterday, up to the top of here, which is going to be $3.04. So $3.04, breaking above there, we could realistically start to talk about really making some big continuous moves as of that point. Be pretty bullish after that level, but RSI is not looking too bad. I mean, it's overextended definitely, but for Chainlink, it likes to poke its head above here when it makes big moves. But again, risk reward, what would I say? Top of the Bollinger Band, overextended. There's conflicting things, but the risk reward, I would say, is a little bit too dodgy for me on this one. Also, we never actually had a death cross on there, so we don't have any positive signals, if you say. We don't have any actual signals to go by on this one to say that something special is going to happen, because it actually avoided all of that, even in its bearish trend with the rest of the alt market. It's one of the only coins that didn't get that death cross, in fact. So technically it's still playing out its bullish move, similar to the way that Matic looks like. Despite what happened to Matic, it's still playing out technically a golden cross on the daily, because it never got that death cross despite what happened to it. So again, risk reward still very high. I'd like to see it come down. It's down to the centre of the Bollinger Band would be nice, so that would be just around about $2.60, and then we could look at buying it back. But chances are it's not going to come down that low. It could just hang around this level for a little bit, maybe $2.64, but thereabouts. If we can come down to that level, it might be a nice buy. Give this RSI a chance to reset. But again, as you can see with all of these coins, they have one common theme, which is that at the moment there's been a lot of buying pressure on it, which has pushed it into oversold territory, which just all that means is that the risk to reward ratio is less. So there's more risk than I would consider to be safe. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that buying it here wouldn't be a bad idea. Depends what you're looking to do. If you're looking to margin trade, it might be a bad idea to buy it here. If you're looking to invest for a long period of time, it's probably a good idea. But again, I'm not a financial advisor, so it's not financial advice. I'm just saying that the risk to reward is diminished a little. The moves have been made. You've kind of missed those moves if you weren't involved. But don't worry. It looks to me that the market has got plenty of moves to make this year. So, buying it on an exchange, holding it for several months, I'm sure we'll do okay. But all eyes are on Bitcoin as per usual, and Bitcoin is at the top of a very significant pivotal moment. Breaking above here and staying above here would confirm bullish market, and we do have a halving event coming up, so I would expect over the next few months to see some decent moves with Bitcoin. But this could be temporarily a bit of a bull trap, and that would also mean that the rest of the market will suffer the consequences of that. I think that's quite unlikely, but it could be. So you've got to bear that in mind. Anyway, I hope you have a nice day. Thanks for watching, and take it easy.